Welcome back to Curious Village HD. So let's keep exploring and see what this guy wants. Go ahead, Dibs.
Oh, hello.
He's a man, Dibs. Try like a little man voice.
Oh, that sounded like a little man voice,
I'm
actually.
Percy, Saint Mystere's unofficial writer in residence. Reinhold Manor, you ask?
Sure, whatever. Go ahead.
Head up that road to the right. It's immense, so you'll know it when you see it. And I keep telling people I'm 40. Why does no one believe me?
Okay.
But before you go, why not try your hand at this puzzle I thought up? See if you can work out which house is mine from the instructions I give you. I'll even sweeten the deal for you.
Oh.
If you manage to solve this puzzle, I'll tell you about this village. Hey, where you going? Hey, don't go to the map. That'll just... whatever. So how about it? You will try, won't you? After all, a writer is nothing without an audience.
Luke, why don't we just go to the brochure over there and find out ourselves?
We could easily...
Alright. Dibs, go, please.
Can you find my house? Go out the front door of my place and turn left. At the first junction you come across, take a right. Turn right again at the following junction, and you'll come face to face with the morning sun. Circle my house.
Yeah, you'll notice that there's a quarter of a compass on the right, implying north. So obviously that's your that's a little subtle hint to how exactly you're supposed to interpret the morning sun part of the puzzle. So go ahead, guys, see what you think.
But which one's his place?
Well, that's what you're supposed to find. That's Pedro, what's the answer to the puzzle? So I can solve it.
Nice try, Dwarves. Nice try.
It's the first row in the middle.
Bit, go out the front door of my place.
I'm sorry,
That's
what I meant.
The idea is to basically retrace the steps from the that he makes. Don't worry, I'm actually gonna. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna show off a couple hints of this puzzle, so you guys will be able to read those. I'm just giving you some time so you guys can try to think for a bit, see if you can solve it.
As if I would ask for cheats from Pedro.
Hints are not cheats, Dwebs. You know, like
I meant from you because you thought I meant give me the answer.
Well, you asked for me to ask you where his house is. That's the answer.
No, I meant his place, as they go out the front door of my place. Because they all look the same.
Oh, never mind. I didn't pick hints for this one. Okay, whatever. That's the one. The game will explain the logic anyway, as it always does anyway. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Not all mysteries have an answer.
That's right.
That's right. Working backwards is the easiest way to solve this problem. The sun rises in the east, so you must end up facing right on the map. To get there, you turn left, right. Backwards, you start from a left-facing position. Then you turn left, left and right. This leaves you facing downwards. If that was your starting point, you should be facing upwards. And there's only one house whose exit faces up.
Exactly.
Precisely.
Impressive! I thought I'd set out quite the puzzle, but you made short work of it.
Alright.
Also, why is my arm like that? Like this? Now for that gossip I promised you. The Reinhold family owns all of the land this village is built upon. I hear they own all the buildings too, and a fine job they're doing looking after them. I suppose you could say this village belongs to the Reinholds. Well, that's all from me for now, but rest assured that next time I'll have a harder puzzle for you.
I don't suppose you could have told us about the creepy tower in the back.
In this universe, yes, Tio.
We'll address the tower later. In coin. And...
Also, yeah, since you didn't told the previous part, Pedro, so why is actually your cursor spazzing like that?
That's a glitch from playing the game on NVIDIA Shield, because the game was made for phones and was not coded with the NVIDIA Shield in mind, since, you know, like it was made specifically to be played on a phone with touch controls, you know? So what you're seeing... So so if you try running this game on Android TV or anything that's not a phone, the game will not expect it, and therefore it causes that mouse glitch there.
There's something very curious about that tower.
I thought this game was called The Curious Village, not The Curious Random Tower in the background.
But Professor, isn't Lady Dahlia expecting us now?
Yeah. We'll come back here later. Well, actually, Professor, she is.
We can't go there yet, Professor.
We can't go there yet. Besides,
There's a time and
she can be
place for
patient, can't she?
everything. Professor, look at that man standing in the streets.
Luke is not very polite to
People
point at
stand in
people.
the streets all the time. It's none of our business.
He's blocking the path up to Rhino Manor. How
He's
terribly
literally
rude.
just standing
Yeah,
to
we
the
could be
side,
a
Luke.
guard for all.
Not just that, the road is pretty large. These guys not blocked from the
Walk
X-Men.
around him,
Perhaps he'll
Luke.
move for us, but I have a feeling he has no intention of doing anything of the sort.
Oh no, a
Maybe he's
mild
just that
inconvenience. This is totally untrustworthy.
Again, he's totally blocking the way, guys. We cannot move
We
around.
can't just walk past him.
If we walk
Totally.
past him, we'll get electrocuted. We need him to move.
Hint coin.
Electrocuted from what? The invisible
I don't
donkey
know.
fence?
Something.
He does actually have a good puzzle for us. This is we're about to get one of my favorite puzzles in the game, actually.
No, he isn't blocking anything.
Shouldn't we be on our way to
Yeah.
Manor?
Yeah, we know.
There.
We know, Luke,
How
we know.
dare you actually diverge to the main path?
Alright, let's see. Alright,
Fine, well,
I'll be this guy. Hold up!
Jesus.
God, he's blind.
I've never seen you two here before. What's a couple of new faces like yourselves doing here?
How rude.
See, yeah, I told you it was rude.
We're here by invitation of the Rhinehold. If you'll excuse us, we have business through the gate. Good day.
Oh, there you go. Look, sure, he is gonna try. He is gonna try.
people.
He is gonna try and apparently run past them. Business with the Reynolds, is that so? Something strange here. Yeah, you're a fishy pair.
She literally
There's the
asked
guy
us.
in the dark shades and dark clothes.
I
Your
don't-
hat is weird. I don't like
I don't trust you, that's for sure. But I'll let you pass if you can solve this riddle. See?
What
Why
business
do I have to
you have
answer
with
a
the
poll just to visit
Rhinos?
someone?
Just
who's
to warn you,
expecting me?
it's a tough one. Isn't gonna be easy, is it? No way. Definitely not gonna be easy.
The answer's free.
All right, this is actually one of my favorite puzzles in the game. Here we have 8 small weights that all look the same. All look the same. Sorry. However, one of the weights in the group is slightly lighter than the rest. Using this scale 2 times, you can find out which of these weights is lighter than the rest. So, which weight is the light one?
Wait, is the answer actually free?
Wait. Free? I don't.
No,
I don't
the joke earlier.
We're just making a
Jokes
joke before.
made.
You know, okay, I'll take this point to mention. So, people who have played mainly the newer Layton games, but not the original, may notice something interesting. How the puzzles are pretty much just puzzles as opposed to stuff that ties into the story. This was a thing in the original game, and it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was about a critique that some people did have that would later get incorporated properly into sequel games.
Yeah.
That being puzzles that tie directly into the story. With this game, you'll mainly just get puzzles that are, well,
yeah.
puzzles for
I
this
think a
or
lot
that
of that
here
is
and
to
there.
do with their sudden need to actually have to make a plot.
Well,
because
actually,
you
Shiroi, there actually is
for it.
there actually is a reason, Shiroi, but I'll explain after we're done with the puzzle.
That's the thing, though, Shiroi. This game kind of has a meme going for it,
Yeah.
where everything,
Does
and I
remi-
do mean
Yeah, pretty much.
everything,
It's a fun meme,
reminds
though.
Layton of a puzzle.
Here's what you
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Here's what you
want to
do.
go to the bathroom?
There you go. See,
have to solve
I
the
put
puzzle.
3 puzzles on each side, and I waited, and yeah, clearly the lighter one is somewhere among these 3. So sorry, among the other 3 that on the left. Sorry. So we're gonna take out these. So none of these 3 are clearly the lighter one. So we don't need. In fact, none of these weights here are. It's these 3. 1, 2, or 3. One of these 3. That's definitely the lighter one. So how do we do it? Okay, it's simple. All we have to do now is weigh 2 of those 3. Let's see. It's weight number 2. See if if both of them weighed the same, it would just rule out.
Means that the
number
discarded
3.
one will have been.
Number 3 would have been the right. So there you go. It's again, I love logical puzzles. There's like it really is a good work for the brain to solve this puzzle.
All right, so Pedro, were you able to get every Riddler trophy in the Arkham games?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Here's a
If enough
point to
time
that.
returns to the end.
The Riddler trophies are not much of a matter of, ingenuousness, but more of a test of patience.
Well, there
not-
is still puzzle solving elements to them.
Not that bad. Pretty sharp bunch, aren't you?
Well, I am a professor.
Pair of good sharp apples, the two of you.
He doesn't know that.
Apples aren't sharp.
So, have we satisfied you? May we pass now, you ingrate?
Honestly, if an apple is sharp, that means there's something wrong with it.
All right, let me explain. Basically, Shiroi, the reason
Thank you, Mr. Pedantic.
the reason there's that ludonarrative dissonance in this first game, Shiroi, is because most of the puzzles in this game are directly taken from the mental gymnastics magazines that I mentioned in the previous part. Most of these puzzles were originally made for those magazines, not for the game. It was only starting with the second game that they started implementing, asking Akira Tago to make original puzzles already with the game's story in mind. So
Again. Let's not forget, originally this was just supposed to be an adaptation of a magazine. The whole Layton aspect thing, that was kind of extra fluff added on.
the original plan was actually... there you go. Here's Jova's big debut in this playthrough, Luke aside, of course.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm just trying to see if I could find some hint coins before I talk to him.
What is wrong with your neck?
Wow, can you imagine living in
He's
such
played
a
by Rowan
place?
Atkinson, James.
Wait, that's Mr. Bean?
No.
Oh, no.
Was he making a joke for resemblance? I'm used to the Mr. Bean cartoon.
I prefer...
Did you know that there's actually a planet of Mr. Bean people?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
even
they're
on
aliens.
Flash.
Go ahead.
And just who might you be?
Oh man.
Your mom.
See, his neck's fine now.
My name is Layton. This is my assistant, Luke. Received an invitation to visit Reinhold Manor. I keep having to explain this to people, but apparently word doesn't travel very far.
Yes. Oh, we've all been expecting you, Professor Layton.
Hey, that's the title. Oh, sorry.
But you'll have to excuse my skepticism. Can't trust anyone these days.
Did you literally
know.
see my confrontation with that weird guy down that way?
For all I know, you could just be another hooligan in a top hat.
Do I look like a football hooligan to you?
And how do I know you're the real
The accent
Layton?
might be there.
Did you hear that, Professor? But nevertheless, so he thinks you're a two-bit hack in a top hat.
That's my brother, clearly.
Surely you aren't going to go through with this after an insult like that. You have to protect your honor.
All right,
Also, Luke-
puzzles on the tables, guys. Come
Down
on.
now, Luke. Settle down.
So
I
Luke
have
gets
no honor.
Luke gets cross-eyed when he gets angry.
So, are you saying that you'd like to test me to see if I am the real Professor Layton? Well, okay then. There's my test.
Strangely, Professor quote-unquote Layton. Now, if you don't mind, would you please solve this puzzle for me?
Oh, sure. The puzzle.
All right.
How do I go past it
Wolves and
without
chicks.
breaking your neck?
This is a classic. This is a classic. Get the free wolves and free chicks seen below to the other side of the river while obeying the following conditions. No more than 2 animals can ride a raft at the same time. There must be at least 1 animal on the raft in order for it to move. If more wolves than chicks stay on either side of the river, the wolves will eat the chicks and you'll have to start over. You can move the raft as many times as you like, but this feat can be accomplished in as few as 11 moves, which I will succeed, by the way.
So this just in, folks. In order to keep your chickens from getting eaten by wolves, just make sure that the chickens outnumber the wolves.
This is a very classic puzzle. Like there's been multiple variations of this type of river crossing
But here's
puzzle.
the thing. What's stopping the wolves from eating the chickens right now?
Right now, yeah. There's one for each of them.
This logic makes no sense.
They're always
There's
puzzles
no
like
realism
this,
in
so-
these games. 0 to 10.
Oh boy.
I actually love it because I actually love these kinds of puzzles because they're always a lot of fun to, it's a good way to use math, but in a simple way that doesn't involve you actually making any actual calculations.
And if you're a fan of these kinds of puzzles, don't worry. We still have puzzles like these in the sequels. It's just that those puzzles are more so the side puzzles as opposed to the main puzzles here and there.
Okay. There you go. The secret to this puzzle is first try to get all 3 wolves on the other side. That way, they will never actually outnumber the chicks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This one is definitely a classic.
Now that the game itself will even explain how far back this puzzle goes in terms of history.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't include the classic one, though I guess you could consider that more of a riddle as opposed to a puzzle. You know the one.
Exactly. All right, there you go. Now, Now, what else? Let's bring in another.
I mean, true. They didn't technically say you can't do that, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about a thinking.
I actually
would realize it.
I actually I had a maths teacher who actually taught me my first variation of this puzzle that I've ever done. Way before I played this game. So it actually, I actually, the first time I played this game and got to this point, this brings me back. Because I've always loved puzzles like these.
The best thing about puzzles like these is that, like Sherry mentioned, there are actually multiple ways to solve it if you wish.
Yes, there are. It's a very flexible puzzle. Again, this is one of the big beauties of the puzzle genre compared to other video games is that they don't age. When a puzzle is good, it's good forever. Because there's like this kind of puzzle has been around for 1,000 years, and it's still just as fun to do as it is now, as it was then.
This is bullshit.
Well done. This puzzle can be solved in as few as 11 trips. How many trips did it take you? Fun fact time. There are several variations of this type of river crossing puzzle, and they've appeared in writings dating back to over 1,000 years ago.
Yep.
Well, this will be outdated in 1,000 years from now.
Do excuse my earlier rudeness.
Well, forgiven.
You're going in the river.
Let me show you to the manor. Everyone's waiting for
Yes,
you.
and I'll be sure to tell them of your everyone. I was under the impression that Lady Darley was the only person expecting me.
Oh, no. Everyone is here, dear boy.
Including the cats.
Well, one cat, Shiroi. Only one.
Yes.
Alright.
Hey, Luke. You know what this reminds me of?
A puzzle?
A puzzle?
No.
Your aunt?
Being invited to go somewhere where everyone was there, and yet someone mixed up my invitation and we got invited to that Shrek game with Humpty Dumpty in it.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Alright, just to elaborate on what Joe...
What?
What is
That
it?
was the gate opening, I
It's
think.
positively gigantic. Just look at the size of it.
Let me
Wait,
just...
what Shrek game with Humpty Dumpty in it? What?
There was a
Slime.
Shrek equivalent of Smash Brothers.
Super
Oh,
Slime.
Shrek Super Slime. I was just like, wait, was
It
Layton in
certainly
it?
seems like we've come to the right place.
I don't think Layton was a thing when that game was made.
Yay, you made it to the mansion.
Exactly. To elaborate on what Joe was saying earlier, what happened was
I'm pointing at somebody or giving the finger in that step.
the original plan, Shiroi, was for the bulk of the main game was supposed to be just the puzzles from the magazines on a list for you to solve at your leisure. They were planning on having an extra mode where there would be a little like 10-minute storyline, quirky little storyline. That would just be a fun diversion where you solve puzzles in a point-and-click adventure thingy. But it would just be it was just supposed to be a small little extra mode. But then later, when they couldn't get the license for the magazine itself, that's when they decided, okay, let's take the extra story mode and actually make that the focus, basically.
So this is a case where copyright law is the reason we got something good.
Well, it has to do with the art from adversity, Joe. Like I always like to say, the developers have to get creative to still get their game out, basically.
And because of that, we got arguably one of the most renowned, if not the most renowned, puzzle game series of all time.
And one of the killer apps for the DS. So.
Welcome to
Until Pokemon came out.
It really did show how much you can entice people to play puzzle games when there's a story attached to them.
It also paved the way for Catherine, where Atlas did the same thing, a puzzle game of a story. She was requested that you take a look at this puzzle.
Of course he has.
Please do not be taken aback.
We will wear you down with puzzles if it's the last thing we do, lady.
I would never, ever be able to get around in this world.
My lady has the strangest sense of propriety sometimes. There you go, see? The game has... that's another cool thing. The game also has some good self-awareness when it wants to.
This world is the bloody puzzle equivalent of In Time.
All right, so this is a tutorial. This is actually something new for this remake. They have a little tutorial to teach you how to move the match instead of just telling you for pictures. So I'm guessing it has to do with some kind of player feedback that it was. But, alright, I also love this one. The matches below are arranged in the shape of a dog. This poor little doggy was just minding his own business when a car came barreling down the road and ran him over. Moved 2 matches
Reincarnated as a bunch of matchsticks.
Moved 2 matches to change the picture so that it shows the dog after the accident.
Yokai is this?
All puzzles are a matter of perspective, so don't assume that you'll be looking at the dog from the side by the time you're finished with this one.
Mangy Mountain, I guess.
That's because the dog's on his side.
You see, Deji, Hina saw a cat die once, and this is what we've had to put up with.
Basically,
never leave that down.
Basically, the main inspiration for Jibanyan from Yokai Watch was that when Hino was a kid, he really wanted a cat, but his parents wouldn't let him keep one. One day, he saw a stray cat on the street, and I really want to take him home, but I know my parents won't let me. But you know what? And then he went on, and then, you know what, no, I'm gonna go back for the cat. This time I'm gonna stand my ground and not give up until they let me keep the cat. So when he went back for the cat had been run over by a car, and he was just standing there, and that,
that's how he made a $1 billion franchise. He capitalized off a cat's death.
Well,
I've seen companies doing much worse for Moat.
Hey, Des, let's not forget, Miyamoto made a fortune off of a dog that used to torment him as a kid.
Yeah.
Apparently,
you see,
he used the garage owner under Nintendo's.
To be fair, he used his own fear against him.
Yeah. Alright.
Again, people
What the hell am I working for?
There you go, see? The car flattened the poor dog. Let this be a lesson to you. Be aware of your surroundings when driving. There you go, Liz. I'm sure you'll appreciate that.
Make sure to show the blood squirting out.
That's the PSA puzzle.
There you go. This is secretly saying, all of you car drivers who don't pay attention and kill animals, you all make me sick.
Just so that I'm gonna profit off of what happens to cats when you run them over years later down the line.
I could have had a cat, but no.
Instead, I just have to have this money-making company to grieve my loss.
Yeah, and when he actually, uses the paper money to dry the tears.
Oh no.
No, Hino, did you do what Sakurai did and actually get a cat yourself eventually?
I'm guessing by this point he probably has a cat, probably.
Plot twist, he actually has a rabbit now.
Jova, if you don't mind.
Professor, look at those paintings on the wall here. They're creepy. It's a very nice portrait, though, isn't it? I bet that's the late Baron Reinhold picture there.
It's all in the eye of the beholder, Luke. I'll just say that.
Oh, come on. It doesn't look that bad.
At least it doesn't have eyes that can follow you. Except for that one, Jesus! What about this one, Professor?
Was that you were saying, Luke?
No, look at those big eyes! Who could this pretty girl be?
Aw, Luke, are we developing a crush?
These
come
two
on.
portraits are next to each other. Oh, duh. So they're likely family. She's probably the Baron's daughter.
Come on, Jova. One can't comment on another person's beauty without necessarily being interested in that person.
Yeah, but we all know what the fan base thinks.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Luke actually has a crush, though. Remember?
Well, yeah, he does. Yeah, that's right. It's for his friend in his own village that he has a crush on.
Yet.
So yeah, we haven't got that yet.
But to be fair, he hasn't spoken of her ever since that game. So.
Well, they moved away. Well, he moved away. So, okay.
There we go.
That's exactly right, sir. You are looking at a portrait of Flora, the Baron's daughter. Pardon me for asking, but I couldn't help but notice your keen interest in art.
It's none of your business.
Would you care to take this old frame with you?
It's pretty big.
I'll pass.
It used to hold the most wonderful painting.
How are we supposed to carry this?
This is the game. No, it doesn't mean this frame we're looking at right now. However, all that's left of now is this small scrap. It's an excuse to insert one of the mini games that the game has. There you go.
Yes, the mini games.
But every Layton game has free mini games. For this one of the ones here is the painting. The painting option has been added to the trunk. You can assemble the fragments of an old painting here. To access the painting, touch the trunk to open it and tap the painting icon. Basically, it's a jigsaw puzzle that you can solve at your own leisure, optionally if you like.
For reference sake, during my playthrough of Last Spectre, I had a goldfish named Tio, who I raised to perfection.
Yeah, they did.
LARP.
Yeah, Jova did all the mini games on that. So this. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
So this is a piece of that old painting then?
Mhm.
How interesting.
So why does Professor Layton keep a kid around with him?
There's actually a prequel. Okay?
In Last Spectre.
There's a prequel.
And
Responsibility.
Ezra Legacy.
It also actually, like I said in the previous part, it's also like I said, it's also a throwback to what a lot of British shows like to do, where there's a professor with a kid assistant. You know.
Oh, gee, a setting where everyone is all together in a room. Ah, yes, I did watch Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes, I did watch Knives Out. Great movie, by the way.
Basically, Deji, in order to prepare for the making of this game, the developers watched a lot of British media to take inspiration from.
That's the worst type of inspiration to go from, okay.
Has someone been shot?
Jova, do you don't mind?
Honestly, why am I constantly surrounded by incompetence? This is a disaster.
Isn't that what the Merovingian says in the Catwoman movie?
Whatever, it's
Stop.
the matter.
Oh, this is simply terrible.
Can someone please explain to me what's going on?
My cat has disappeared. My
Oh, no.
dear sweet baby, my Claudia.
Your Claudia?
No, my Claudia. Of course, my Claudia, you bloody Sir Toppin hat.
I'm only going with what the script says.
Sweet, sweet Claudia. My little honeykins, my smoochy pie, my baby, my world,
reference.
my everything.
For
Yes.
reference, we really do talk about our cats like this.
That's
Matthew!
disgusting.
Matthew!
All right. Let's see. What's going? Oh, let's see what happens. Okay. My lady, what is it? What in the world happened?
Is your name Matthew?
Yes.
My little Claudia got scared and ran away. Didn't you see her dart out of the room?
Why didn't you go after her?
Because she has a butler to
I'm
do it
not
for her.
dressed
She
for
right?
that.
Yeah.
I must have missed her. I'm terribly sorry, my lady.
I do not run.
Goodness gracious. Is nobody here useful but me? Oh, you're just useless, aren't you? Useless, useless, useless!
Rude.
Oh, Luke, we got Cruella DeVille's sister here.
Professor, you didn't see which way my baby ran off, did you?
Your void creature? The hallway.
Your baby, madam?
Even later,
You're all
it's
just a
double
bunch of
take.
dog people.
You're referring
Get
to
out
that
of my
white
sight.
cat. I saw it run out that door a moment ago. You are a weird lady.
Oh, please, you think I'm... you think I'm weird? You
I
my
was says
baby
here.
sister. What? And you simply stood there and let her escape?
Well, she is a cat. They are animals after all. And animals must run about from time to...
Any interruption?
It's
Go ahead.
pointless.
You fool! She is not just a cat. She has a name, and that name is Claudia Reinhold.
This is her house, and you
What,
will
is
put
she
respect on
an
her name.
animagus or something?
She is a delicate flower, and she is simply a mess when I'm not close by to comfort her.
Okay, not necessarily a flower. The closest I could compare the cat is a pillow.
That kind of cat probably needs
she does look like a
exercise.
pillow. So.
I mean, imagine all the money and effort to groom that thing.
Matthew! I need you to find Claudia and bring him back immediately.
Actually, unlike dogs, cats don't need regular grooming unless they get really bad.
About the social inheritance.
How many cats do you own, by the
Lady
way?
Dahlia.
I don't have any cats currently, but I've always grown up with cats.
That can wait. Can't you see that we have a more pressing concern at hand at the moment? You know,
Layton, this is the moment where you start regretting your life choices.
you gotta love how with the cutscene she appears in all calm and concentrated. But of course, the minute the cat goes out, she loses all composure. She is literally like an anti-Cruella DeVille.
Again,
you could have stopped her and you didn't.
Shiroi, would you say this
Yeah.
is accurate? when it comes to,
He's a
cat
little-
lovers and stuff.
He's a little angry, but yes.
Sending the professor off to find a silly cat. The nerve. Who do you think you are?
Ho arrivato a dare tuo voto a gare.
There are precious babies, and if you don't like them, you can sit outside.
I'm more of a dog person, actually.
Some people who
No,
are
it's
allergic
fine.
are literally the Antichrist, I guess.
Well, sit outside.
Besides, Lady Dahlia does have a point. It does seem we let Claudia run off. Well,
Not
that's
just-
not our cat. Why do I carry?
Not just that, but a true gentleman never refuses the request of a beautiful lady, as he said in the
That
beginning of
is
the
true
game.
too.
But is she
Adam, if
beautiful?
you'll excuse us, we have a cat to track down.
Ooh.
Well, thank you. And please hurry. Trust me, you think I'm weird. You should see my crazy sister. Thinks all black and white are a thing and burns her white dress over to reveal a red one, claiming she was always born brilliant or something.
Oh my
Right.
god, no.
Please
But
don't.
Claudia is such a delicate flower. Even the coarse outdoor stuff could be too much for her.
So yeah, Noise
I
of the
don't
Man.
remember.
Alright, basically, aside from having a journal that we can always consult. Okay, chapter 2, the fugitive feline. Lady Dahlia's cat has escaped. Search Saint Mystere for the runaway feline. Basically, aside from having a journal that allows us to, imagine, for example, you haven't been playing the game for a couple of days and you've forgotten where we were. You can always check a journal to read a little recap of where you've been and what happened recently.
Good.
You can also another thing is the mysteries menu in the. Oh, there we go. Here's the journal. There we go. Lady Dahlia's letter and chasing Claudia. There you go. We also have a mysteries menu. But first, let me just get. You can move any scraps of the painting that you found by touching them. Basically, it's just to showcase a bit of the mini games. Simply drag the pieces around to whenever you want them.
You were saying, Shiroi?
I don't remember every aspect of this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the cat just wanted away from him.
It's interesting, Shiro, because they do make a joke like that involving the chameleon in the Layton anime. So, when you put the whole painting back together, something good will happen. By that he means we unlock something in the bonus section. There you go. So there you go. Basically, over the course of the game, as you solve puzzles, you'll get more puzzle pieces that you can do to complete the jigsaw puzzle. That's basically the gist of it. Anyway, there's also a mysteries menu that you can check just to, again, recap on the mysteries involved in the story. Noise at the Manor. When the professor first met Lady Dahlia, Reinhold Manor was rocked by a noise so loud it shook the walls of the mansion and scared off Claudia. What could the source of that noise be? So again, combining the journal with the mystery menu, you can easily recap on what exactly has been going on in case you haven't been playing for a while and you need a little mental recap, just in case. Again, properly making the game very handheld and mobile gaming friendly, basically. All right, tune in next time, everybody, where now we have to search for the freaking cat. So,
Hooray!
That's totally what we bought this game for.
see you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.